Hi everyone and welcome on today's video. Today it's pruning time here in Belgium and it's about time. We had a horrible spring so far. It's been raining, incredible, and this is the first day that I can say that it is possible to get outside. So I'm going to do some pruning on a couple of trees, starting with this elm and then this linden. So let's come a little closer and see what can be done. So like I just said, we had a horrible spring and now it is well, sunny and of course immediately warm because, well, it's May. And of course everyone in the neighborhood is mowing the grass now, so yeah, sorry about the noise, but what can you do? No one's to blame. It's been wet, wet, wet. So, okay, starting with this elm, I kind of like the front that I chose, but I'm wondering if maybe a little more to this side as the front, so I'm turning this for you now, would be better. I'm not really sure what I should do. This back branch is bothering me. It's an interesting fork here, but I mean this one, but I'm not sure. This one is I could open it up, I could remove one of these two, and because I'm in doubt, well, I don't think that I'm going to do anything yeah, too drastic, because, well, it all depends on the front that I choose. I always thought that this would be a good front, but before, in the years before, I always thought that this would be the front. And no, I still don't like this as much as I like that. But if this is the front, so not as it is, so it is the front is here right now. If this becomes the front, this branch should come a little more forward and this should become a side branch. But if this stays the front, then this is the leader, and then of course I should open this up a little more. Yeah, still think this is the better front because, well, that's a branch that is coming to the viewer, so that's better. But since I'm not sure, I think I'm just going to reduce everything and then see what the tree wants. So I'm going to cut back all the new growth to one, well, the best is 2 or 3 leaves, so I'm going to go for 2 or 3, and I use directional pruning, of course. It's a little dead stump here, so always choosing outwards facing branches. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the lowest parts. And the branches have been hardening up that I was waiting for that before I did anything. And I'm making sure that I'm leaving quite some room for dieback. What should I do here? This tree will definitely need some wiring too. This is a branch growing to the inside, so I don't think that I'm gonna keep that. Of course, it's going to the inside now, but if I wire this and I twist this, this is becoming a interesting branch. So it's always complicated to do a right thing before you wire and decide. So I might just keep it. It's always easy to remove something, but it's not easy to get something back. Well, on elms it does. Okay. So this is still the front, or this is the front? I don't know. Let's call this front 1. And let's call this front 2. You help me decide in the comments what should be the new front, or should I keep the old front? Okay. So this is not a Zelkova or a Chinese elm. This is just your good old European elm, which is a really nice tree to work with as a bonsai. Well, it's starting to look like a bonsai now. So this can become a side branch when I wire it. Maybe I should get rid of this. Then this is supposed to be the new leader. Then maybe I can go a little bit wild here and remove that. Keep this as the new leader. Or just keep that one as the new leader. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. This is going to be the new leader. It can be wired. There's tons of little buds here. They're very obvious on elms. There are little black dots. Now here I have a few new pieces growing, and yeah, this is not a good spot. Sadly, it would be great if I had something growing here. I'm not going to graft anything on these elms because they tend to don't like grafting. But okay, I think it's not bad. Just removing some new growing tips here so that I have more options for new buds emerging. And when you think you're done, you always realize you missed one. Okay, so the new growth, I'm going to let that maybe as sacrificial. Okay, so let me see. So if this is the front as it was, it's not bad. But I think I like it more this way. Well, you guys let me know. Up to the next tree, the linden. Yeah, so this is the fusion linden, and as you see, it exploded. This is the front is now the other side of the front that I had last year. That's because I had these problems with one dying tree in the front. And I must say I'm quite happy with the new front because the trees in the front are now well equal in thickness, which makes it a whole lot more attractive. But this thing is exploded, so I really need to cut back some stuff. I'm going to try to do some interesting camera work. I'm not an expert, but I'll do my best. Okay, so right now I'm trying to position my camera under the tree so that you have a view of the structure, which is not easy. There is some new growth here and a few older branches, and the new front is kind of interesting because I have these two good branches here in the top. So I think that I really need to cut back a whole lot in order to open up new branches. The branches here, right at the base, I'm not going to touch. It's gonna look a little bit awkward because, well, doesn't make sense to have branches there, but it will thicken up the base and it will speed up the fusion. I have also little branches emerging between two trunks, and that's really great because these guys are going to swell and they will make the fusion complete, and that's what you want, because when all these little trunks are fused in one way or another, they're becoming a whole lot stronger because one root will provide sap to another tree. So that's what you really want to obtain. So I'm going to remove the camera from the bottom here, maybe give you a 360 to show you what's happening. So here you don't see a whole lot, but if you look at this portion, these are the new little trees that I added, and they're doing great, but of course they are not as strong, so they are going to be shaded out. So that's why I need to remove some of the older branches to give these guys a good chance to grow. That's the side. Again, new little trees. They're doing good, but yeah, they're in danger. And this is the front. I hope that all my explanations weren't too boring and that they made sense. So I'm going to work out my I don't know. I'm going to work from bottom to top, always spinning the tree and reduce what I think should be reduced. So I'm starting here in the front. As I said, lowest branches, no touch. Little shoot coming from between two trees, really great, don't touch. Small shoot, okay. So up to stage 2. This one, well, it's a low branch, so I like them to be thicker, so I'm not going to touch that too. I have here a branch which is already a little thicker, but is also a new one. So I'm going to let that grow stronger. Here, level up, I have, well, these are big leaves. It's not a small leaf linden, so I'm going to reduce this. Here I have small branches which I will keep. These are all part of the new trees that I planted, so I'm not going to touch these ones. I want these ones to become strong. They have to establish a root base also. But there are a few bigger ones that are planted here already a few years, so I can remove this, and I will remove this because I have a new junction here and a new junction there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but from here it's rather obvious. And this is the end, so I can remove that. Now, the more I go to the top, the more I should be able to remove, cutting back. Here I can even remove a quite woody part, so because I have good growth here, and maybe some bud will open here, and anyway I already have a fork here. This is not really strong, so I'm not going to touch that. This I already did cut. This is doing good, but it's not strong, it's shaded out, so not touching that one. Here in the top I have already a good fork forming, so I can probably remove the end And this fork, I'm going to keep that, of course, but remove this. This branch is already splitting up very nicely. 1, 2, and then this is the leader, but it's not really strong, so let it just gain some strength. Same here. It's a good branch, but it's quite weak, so let it gain some vigor and it can always be cut back in a later point. Same here, quite weak. Well, not weak, but you know, this is a really strong branch. It's the apex. So I'm gonna calm that down a little. I did that, yeah. This also, I'm going to remove just the end. And then we have the top branches here. So here I'm going to be a little more severe, hoping that I can bring the foliage back inside, but always leaving some growth. I think that's almost it. Now just a final check here to see that I did everything right. So these are the base. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to have a look at the newly planted ones to see if they have enough light and if there's something I can do to make that better. Well, that's looking quite okay. They might get a little bit shaded out by these big leaves here. So I don't think I can get rid of these ones, but on the other side, you don't want them, the new leaves, to be really into the sun because they might burn also. So a little shade and a little light, that's what this tree needs. So I think I'm there. Well, before you know, you have a whole lot of stuff that you removed. And some caution is necessary here because, well, it is a fusion tree. So it's not that I removed that from one tree. I removed quite a lot from, well, lots of trees. But I think that's good. Can live with that. Maybe some fusion this year. We'll see. And that's all I can do for the moment with this tree. So, yeah, it will probably bud out again, and maybe in a month or two I can do another pruning, and well, slowly this will start to get more budding, and all these buds will help with the fusion. So I'm rather happy with my work for today. The little elm looked quite okay. This one, well, it's promising. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more of this. So thank you for watching and see you next time.